So a lot of people don't know about the connection between anxiety and pain, right? And this is something that has been at the fundamental foundation of us developing the LUMNA formulation. We developed a formulation for anxiety, which is I Am Resilient. That was initially our only product. And shockingly, some people tried it who had pain that pharmacological things weren't working for. And they were just like, oh my God, when can I get more of this? I can't get enough. It's the only thing that's working. And so that's what led to our second formulation, which is Sweet Relief. So I think it's really important for people to understand that connection so they understand what's happening to them and how they can address it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something that's so dramatically overlooked in medicine. Like I said earlier, one of the areas of my residency where I specialized in was chronic pain and palliative care. So I saw a lot of pain patients, all sorts of different things. And I can't overstate enough that anybody with chronic pain is living with chronic anxiety and depression, pretty much 100% of people, because it's demoralizing. You know, as somebody who's experienced some very painful conditions in my life, fortunately, they always go away, they're intermittent, but when they happen, I'm not functioning. I can't live my life. I can't do anything. I'm worried it's never going to go away. I'm feeling really frustrated by the fact that I can't do any of the things I want to do. I can't work out. I can't, all the things I do, I can't do. And this is how people live all the time. And it's very debilitating and very demoralizing. Also feeling like I'm stuck in this cycle of needing these drugs, of seeing this doctor, of going back for more drugs, of trying new drugs. Drugs fail, surgeries fail. You know, it's really demoralizing. And then on top of that, another thing that's dramatically overlooked is the fact that anxiety and depression and other mental health challenges, or even just chronic unremitting stress, cause physical pain. It's called somatic pain, like somatically manifesting mental health conditions. It shows up in the body. Of course, we're all familiar with when we get really tense because we've been sitting too much, or we're stressed and our shoulders hurt, or our back hurts. You know, that's a very basic example. Well, yeah, now my back hurts, or I get a headache, you know, or my jaw is killing me. Oh, my jaw. Well, and it's because I'm grinding because I'm stressed, or, you know, whatever. So all of that's like normal, but sometimes it's a big deal. I mean, gut issues are very closely tied with mental health. And again, that's through the vagus nerve, parasympathetic shutdown, etc. But very commonly stressing. And I remember even when I was a kid, that's what they always said to me. Now, in reality, I had celiac that was undiagnosed. So, you know, oversight on their part, but they said, it was always like, oh, it's just your anxiety. Oh, you always have a stomach ache. Oh, it's just your nerves. It's your anxiety. You know, kids get stomach aches when they're stressed or anxious. And that is true. I see that, although in my case, it was a pretty serious pathology that was overlooked, but it is just a good example of we hold our stress in our gut. Like I said earlier, some people overeat when they're really stressed. Some people, like myself, don't eat at all and lose a bunch of weight when I'm super stressed because I just can't. Everything shuts down and I just can't bring myself to eat because I feel sick if I eat. So everybody's different in that way, but it shows up in our bodies, and it often shows up as pain, abdominal pain, pelvic pain, menstrual pain, breast pain in the premenstrual cycle. Of course, back, neck, shoulder, jaw, all of these areas are huge, but it can really show up anywhere in the body. I myself will get migraines, or I'll get sciatica issues. Like these are all nervous system issues that show up when I am at my 10 out of 10 max, beyond my limits. Body's about to shut down, has to do something. So it lodges in my nervous system there. And I'm not unique in that. It's very, very, very common. So either way, the whole goal with pain is to break the cycle. You know, you have this initial pain, or initial, you know, stress, anxiety, whatever, that then is causing pain. And then it's just this positive feedback loop. People get, you know, more stressed and more anxious because the pain gets worse, and then it won't go away. So they're more stressed and more anxious. This is positive feedback loop. Or they're more stressed and anxious, so the pain gets worse, but then they're holding on to more tension. So the pain, you know, it can go either way. It goes both ways. And same with the depression and demoralization. So in any way, I've found the number one easiest way is to at least get, even if it's for an hour, temporary break from the pain. Lodge yourself in that cycle somehow. And I have found this so many times, even if a person has been in chronic pain nonstop for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and they get an hour of a break, it changes their lives because their brain remembers, oh, I cannot be in pain. It's possible not to have pain. It didn't remember that for 20 years or whatever. So the more we can interrupt that cycle, the more the stress and anxiety goes down. Obviously, if stress and anxiety and depression and mental health and trauma held in the body are the main issues, then those need to be addressed first, and then the body can relax, the body can release, and that tension can go away. But so it depends on the cause, but you can't really successfully break that cycle without addressing all of those aspects.
Yeah. So the anxiety pain connection is that they both cause each other, and in causing each other, they're creating this snowball essentially of making the pain and the anxiety worse, which just keeps worsening. And I've seen that with my clients and with myself, and it's so true both with pain and with anxiety. Like you need a break, right? So that you can break that cycle, right? Start back from square one, and then also figure out how to deal with it. And that's what I really love about, like what LUMNA is doing and this thing that we've created, right? Because it gives people that break in a natural, unaddictive way, right? Immediately, so they can experience that immediately, because when you're in that heightened situation, you need that immediate relief, but also long-term, because it's repairing your nerves that are causing the pain, so that the pain decreases with time, as well as in many different ways, like we were talking about with the anxiety, helping with neuroplasticity, but so many other things that help you to naturally feel more calm over time as well. Of course,
and change your relationship to these things, like change your perception. That's where the brain higher consciousness component comes in. Change your perception of, am I really feeling anxious or am I feeling excited? Is that really pain, or is it just kind of an irritating sensation that I'm over, so that's where that sort of brain and that neuroplastic component
what's causing this was basically work with it. But you need to have that edge off and that kind of break in order to work with it. Otherwise, you're just lost in the vortex of it.
Exactly.
Awesome.
That was so good.